was muted like an idiot. Was I muted all the way? I was saying that. I was saying, welcome in, Eva. Welcome in, Stephanie. Welcome in, Sister Sherry. Thank you for sharing out. And hello, Uncle Danny. No problem. I'm only on for an hour or so. I just wanted to start off the witchy season. I noticed today that there's a lot of leaves and things falling off the trees already. Thank you, Sister Sherry. Yeah, where do we get links and things? Sparkle, what are you doing? See that dog? I don't know what she's up to. She's crack crazy. Crack crazy. What do we share out here? I've probably confused people with it. I'm live, I'm not. I'm live, I'm not. Attitude, as usual. Right, let's find all this crazy stuff. Right. StreamYard, you need to do that. Okay. Welcome in, Gemma. I has felt the fall here the last 2 days, but next week it's supposed to be back to 100. Oh, God. Yeah, I definitely felt it was more the sense of it. Remember in the spring, I could say to you, the sense of summer and things about, oh, I got a big black mark in my nose. No, it's not. Not a bit like this. So it looks like a bruise, doesn't it? It's not even coming off. I think it's just bad shading. Yeah, you could feel it in the air, and then today you could see the leaves all on the ground, and you could just tell that the autumn is upon us. Right, okay, what am I doing here? I want to come in so that I can share out that link. No, because it'll start echoing, won't it? No matter, I'll share it out on Facebook, YouTube. I'm back on Uncle Danny's live here. Remember and roll each other's bones, guys. I think most of you that are in are already all. This is the PayPal link, guys, for anybody that wants any readings and behind the scenes, anybody that wants to help with donations, anybody that wants to help with just anything. It's not expected, but it really is appreciated, guys, because I'm struggling right now, and I'll be honest. What's it doing that? Oh, I give up. Anyway, never mind all that, carry on. I can't get it. It's not working. So, tonight I wanted to just share a little bit about my path with you. A lot of people, I shared my path with you a way back, but I've got a lot more subscribers from then. And I have got a spell candle on beside me just now. I had to bring it down with me because I didn't want to leave it burning in the room. It's just a simple blue candle, guys, to bring some peace into this house because Liam's emotions are everywhere because of school today. So it's just to bring everything back to a calm. Quick spells like that, candle spells, are where my forte works, if you know what I mean. That's my forte, whatever they say. Right, so a lot of you are in now. I'll start because it's on Facebook as well. So a way back, when would we be talking here? We're talking probably, I might as well just say the full story. Right, so what had happened was I had always wanted to get into paranormal. I'd always wanted to try and talk to spirits and because when I was a little girl, my mum used to always tell us creepy ghost stories, and I've told you this before, she would always start it off with, "It was a dark and stormy night. 3 men sat by a fire." And it would go on to be like really creepy and things, and we always loved it. So, in order for her to get us to bed most Fridays and Saturday nights, we would say, "Mum, tell us a creepy story." So, and then we would go. So, anyway, so I'd always had that in the back of my mind that I like to be scared and just kind of creeped out, if you like. um, and also at that point in time, my dad and my mum were going out to like the club and things. So they were always bringing us home like cards and different things like dominoes. They would brought us home like a set of dominoes and things one night. So things like that. They must have won money or something and they wanted to bring us something home. So I always played with cards, always shuffled, played patience, all the usual. And then it wasn't until when, also to note away back then, I used to always want to be alone. For I was being a wee girl, I always people watched. I always stared at people right in their core, right at them. And my mum would say, "Andrea, stop staring," and I would have to stop it. But when I was staring at people, I was figuring them out. I was seeing things. I can still do it to this day if I concentrate. I can look at somebody and I can tell you whether they're happy, they're sad, whether there's something going on in their head. A lot of things I can tell. And I also sometimes can see auras around people. It just really depends though. I think that has to be an ability that's brought on more though, because of different medications and things that I've took in the past. I think my head's a bit fuzzy sometimes, and I have to get myself really, really clear headed. Anyway, so I can tell that type of thing about people, and I always could. And I can also tell if when I meet somebody, I can usually normally tell within 5-10 minutes if I like you. I can usually always tell as well whether you think you've got a shady streak. A lot of things like that. I can suss people out pretty quick. Um, Also, things like the stirring of your tea. I've always knew that going in a clockwork clockwork way is bringing positivity. Always going the opposite way is bringing negativity or getting rid of things. So I've always knew that general concept of things, and where I got it from, I don't know, but I've always knew that. I've also always knew about karma. I figured out karma a long time ago, especially when you see people that's bullies. There's been people, I don't want to mention too many names, this is going out on Facebook. There's been people in my past that they were kind of bullied, not bullies as such when they were younger, but liked to throw their weight around, let's say, and wanted to always be that person. Like, me and my big sister weren't allowed past the phone box, for example, or you would meet a group of girls that would be, you're not getting past, all that type of attitude. So I learnt pretty young, and because our Helen's got special, no, she's not got special needs. She took fits when she was a young girl, so she was left vaccine damaged. So there's a bit in Helen's brain that her balance doesn't come too good. And then she was in a bad car accident, and basically she lost about an inch or two of her leg the way that they had to place it all back together. So she had to learn to walk again in things away back, and I think she was only about 40 or whatever. So I've always loved to look after my big sister. I've always been the one to stick up for her, never let her be bullied, and people say names to her and things. I would be like a wee pit bull. So and I've always been able to focus in on somebody and really, really concentrate and say, "You will get your comeuppance," and demand karma, if you like. I've always been able to do that. If somebody hurts me really bad or does me wrong and I'm angry, I have to be careful. I really, really have to be careful. I didn't realise but in my past, I was getting to a stage of being angry and really wanting to do harm to people, and it would happen. It would be like, oh shit. And I can't really say too much because it is going on Facebook and things, but I really can. I need to be careful about getting so angry. So I've always had to do that, and I've always had to rein myself in and calm myself down. There's only a few people in this world can calm me down if I get angry. And I mean really angry, where I'm going to jump out windows. I've done that a few times where I've really been that angry, especially at people bullying Liam or the kids in the park, and I've been like, out the window. Anyway, I've always had that in me, that really angry, and always had to calm myself down. So I've always had streaks of different witchiness in me, and spirituality as well, and being aware that there is higher powers. When I was younger, I always sat at my window as well. Me and my big sister shared a room, and the back room was petitioned. It wasn't always petitioned, but it did eventually get petitioned. So Helen had a window and I had a window. But if I was young and we were in that room, I've always sat at the window and watching out the back. Always used to just look at the skies. I used to just watch the cats and things. Sometimes my rabbit would come out. And I've always just wanted to watch the skies, and I've never ever been a child for to be inside either. I've never, like, my big sister and my big brother would come in from school and they would sit down at the television and start watching cartoons. I wasn't like that. My mum said that there was only one cartoon I would stop for, and that was Scooby-Doo. If I walked through the living room to go out and Scooby-Doo was on, I would sit down and watch it. But if not, I was just out. That was me. I was out and about. And I was always in the woods as well. I think because the school was right next to us and the woods was just down the back, I've always liked to play around in the woods. And with my dad being my dad was always in the garden. Whenever he came home from work, he was straight to the garden. So I always kind of mucked around with my dad as well in the garden and things. So I've always had that about me. So ended up say once I had Kerry and I came back to Les Mahago, different things have broke my heart through the years. I've been, one thing after another was just heartbreaking at one point in time, and I've just felt as if I couldn't take anymore. There was a saying I kept saying, like, shit happens, and then I would say, yes, and it happens again and again and again and again, and I just gave up on trying to be happy. I just went with the flow every day. And then Billy died. Kerry had my wee grandson. I got this house. Kerry got a house over the back, but they ended up moving to Colburn, and within about 6 months or something to a year, Billy took a seizure, and Kerry found him. So she ended up leaving that house in Colburn because she didn't want to be in there, obviously, because of what happened. So she came here. So when she came here, my life kind of crashed, if you like, because then I realised that the things I had been doing in my normal day life, just getting survive and going doing this, doing that, no bothering about any care in the world, I've suddenly had to grow up, look after Kerry and Zach, because Zach was only 3, I think, and my daughter was devastated, guys. She was really devastated. Welcome in, Joe. So I had to really straighten up pretty quick and get to a place that I just couldn't be selfish anymore, really. So I got really desperate. Things weren't happening quick enough. I kind of discovered that I wanted to talk to spirits because of Billy. I wanted to make sure that I could say to Kerry, it's okay because you'll see him again. We'll hear him. Plus, Billy and I, just before, when he stayed over the back, we were obsessed at one point in time with the Ouija board app. And we would say, and it honestly would say things that Billy thought was real and I thought was real. So it was just different things. Guy, like, I'd said machete. And it's like, oh, I put the machete from the top cupboard to the something like that had happened. So there was different things kept confirming for us. So when he had died, I was convinced that he would talk to me. I was like, that's it. He's going to talk to us, Kerry. He'll speak to us. So I just kind of kept, and I bought the spirit box, I bought the K2, nothing was happening. I even bought the Ouija board and it wouldn't work. So I realised that I had to clear my energies and try and get to a stage where I was leveling out my vibration. I was higher in my vibration for to get noticed by the spirits, if you like, and then lowering your vibration again if you wanted to like meditate and communicate through your mind with them. So I kind of researched all that, and nothing was working. But along with that, at the same time, there was other things happening. Like Kerry was devastated, and she had to make a decision whether to keep the house. There was a funeral and everything. It was all heartbreaking, and so I got pretty desperate, and I was like, "Please, just help me. Anybody help me." And I was on my toilet at the time, and I always thought that she appeared in my shower, but looking back on it, I was facing that way out my door. So technically, she was in front of me, like probably I would say in my hallway. But to let you understand, it wasn't as if she was standing near a heavy figure. I could see her image through tears, through my mind being altered and devastated, and she was just there, guys. And at first, I thought that it was death itself, and then she smiled like this smile that you just knew everything was going to be okay. It's like it was like being cuddled, I suppose, that you felt when she smiled. So instantly, I knew that things were going to be okay. And also beside her, there was like a white light, and I don't know if looking back on the light being there, if that was like the spirits around her that was my guides or what, I don't know. I've only just remembered that. But I knew, and then I went to my bed because it was like crazy o'clock in the morning, like 4 or 5 in the morning at this point. I'd went to my bed and I'd woke up the next day and I was okay. I managed to get up, do this, do that, and then the spirit started talking to me and things, and that's when I started researching YouTubers to watch and different things I would need to use to make sure that my vibration was high and the spirits were communicating with me. I started turning on the spirit box and things again. The Ouija board still would never work, guys. It never worked. But I would have the spirit box and things on when I was trying. And after the spirit box did started speaking to me, I kind of figured out through different words it was said that it was my guides that was blocking the Ouija board for working. So through doing that, I ended up that I realised that what I was doing was witchcraft because I was lighting my incense. I'd researched what they'd told me, like amethyst, and I do believe it was patchouli. And I didn't know what patchouli was. I had to Google it and I figured out patchouli was an incense. That's what it was at the time. So I bought all that and then I started watching YouTubers I actually started watching Renegade Witch to start with on YouTube. I mean, I didn't really click with her, and then I started watching Tiptoe Witch. And then with her, it was just great. I've learned about the jar and things and the different herbs and different ways to do an altar and things like that. So after I done that and practiced what, I got a bit bored with her. So I started like looking up other witches, and I came across Lady Grave Dancer, and that was me. I was hooked. All the spells that she showed you, the oils and everything, I wrote them all down in my book of shadows. 2 or 3 of them I started doing. I did the jar spell for Liam to make sure that he was getting on at school and different things. I did, I've got it all right down in my wee book of shadows. This was my very first one. I've got it wrote down. I did like candles and different things. By this point, I think I was getting my witchy box, if I remember correctly, or I was getting things off that other girl as well. And I'd got oils and things, and I was doing my candles, and I managed to get to a space where Kerry started being okay. Zach was thriving. She wasn't really grieving. She was handling things, and she ended up. My mum did all the room up. She did the 2 rooms up down at my mum's, and she moved in there. So I kind of, through my first days of witchcraft, I managed to settle Kerry down, settle the kid down, and get my life on tour. So for then on, it was just research, watching YouTubers I could relate to, doing the spell work that they showed you that I needed to do to get my life in order. So through that, and then I didn't tell anybody I was doing all this to start with. Nobody knew. And then I started like opening up to Willie about why I was lighting candles and different things like that. And I ended up, I built an altar. Just the drawers up the stairs was my grandfather's. Him and my gran had got it gifted to them for their wedding day. Um, it was made for them. So when I had fell pregnant with Kara and I was looking for somewhere to put her clothes, my dye, we call them dye, my dye had gave me that, and I painted it white. I took it to Lanark with me and things, and when I do believe my mum took it back, I was going to throw it out, I think. I can't remember. Or if Kerry, I brought it back over here. So Kerry could have clothes in it at my mum's. I can't remember, but it ended up back and painted it blue. So my big brother had it as well, and he had all his records on it. He had actually nailed something at the front of it so his records wouldn't fall off. So anyway, once I fell out with Lanark people, as you say, and I came back to Les Mahago, I had got my house at Lanark, so I got my house in Bankhead. So I took that back with me. So it has just followed me from house to house. So I had started putting my altar stuff on that. And then it wasn't until I kind of got deeper into the research and things that I realised that that was the perfect thing. And I didn't know that at the time. I just wanted to put it there because it was wood, easy cleaned, and they tell you to wood, no plastic, and things like that. So I'd built an altar on it, and from then on, it's just been the same, guys. It's just been witchcraft, learning how to talk to the spirits and things. That's why I always try and ask the spirits what they need, because they do tell you. They do tell you what's for their better, their higher being and your higher being, and to help connect. So this was my very first, my very first little book of shadows. Welcome to my book of shadows. I started my witchy path around July 2017. This is my first official book of shadows. I have a binder for my journey also. I started out wanting to talk to the spirits through watching YouTube. I want to find out some secrets before I pass. Oh, there you go. Pass about the universe and spiritual world around us and what happens when you die. As I watched how to communicate with the dead, I realised I have to raise my vibration so that my path. Oh, wait a minute, I must have jumped. I'm terrible for doing that in this book. I do it all the time. In our journey here and after, we need to only ask, and no, that's not that one. So I've went for that page to Money Oil, Christmas Day. Right, we'll read Christmas Day 2017. Christmas Day 2017. Set up my altar for Billy with a candle and an offering of a half of whiskey and some frankincense and myrrh incense. Also gave an offering of vodka to Rose and a roll-up for both of them. Roll-up's a cigarette. To both of them and my ancestors. I felt great during and felt honoured to do it and truly enjoyed honouring them in the way. Proud to do it for them. There you go. Then, I have got Santa Mart oil. Remember I was asking you mystical love and light for Santa Mart oil? I must have wrote it down, I didn't realise. Spellwork Prep 2017. Have a goal in mind and be clear about what you want the outcome to be. Number 2. What are you going to need? Candles, oils, herbs, and what equipment? Number 3. How much time do you need to complete your spell and spend ample time doing it? Number 4. How many days or hours do you want to spend? Number 5. What day of the week or moon phase or even the aye, time of day any will you be better using? 5. Are you going to call upon any spirit energies? Right. Oh, and I also discovered Tyler Penry. She's a Welsh witch. Paganism. I am sure this is me if it means the universe is our god and goddess, as I've always struggled with believing our typical god of Christians believe. Although I think we need people to believe that sometimes. It helps things simple for them, and some folk need that and don't want any other answers. They settle for what for that, where I've always struggled with that myself. I do believe in all the people the Bible have mentioned, but I do think it's exaggerated. It probably was a sample of a story, and mainly real people who do deserve to be remembered and worshipped. I believe there is a mother god, Mother Nature, and a god of sorts, but more like the thunder and honor, meaning Mother Nature. Wait no. And a god of sorts, but more like the thunder and honor, meaning Mother Nature, nurtures us, and Father God is our punisher and demands respect, and that we respect the life He gave us, our ancestors, to learn respect for the past and our path as we honoured to have this time here on earth, and we only get here because of our ancestors and the saints and others who the Bible touches on. And there are other deities that make this life possible, and we must thank them daily and honour them, and they will aid us in our journey here and after. We need only ask and respect the being granted it and show it spiritually. So magic is to me asking our ancestors and our goddess and God or deities to grant our wishes, and in return we make offerings to them: herbs, oils, wind, fire, water, each, etc., or earth, etc., in our spell and after on the altars. I also learned to keep a notepad, book of shadows, beside me to write and to document my journey and magical experiences. Keywords: intention, focus, concentrate. Invisibility magic. Being unnoticed when you're around others. I myself was never noticed as a kid, and always I asked to be noticed. Try and remember back to then. If you want past if you want past a first line or someone blow cold breath as you go through, and you're blowing away their perception of you and the intention to you, you have to walk at it and build on it. Write it down. Creating a ritual. Blood red moon, the 31st of January 2018. Wait to see if I did do so. Well, I'm not seeing the full eclipse from Scotland, but I will go out and take pictures just to document the event. I am going to cleanse my crystals and sit them out all night to absorb that moon goddess energy. It's a great moon phase to cleanse and put out your intentions. I'm trying to do a little ritual after, before the two get up, William and Leo. Well, so they go to bed, sorry. I'll go study for a bit, be back soon. Saturday the 24th of March 2018. I've not been doing much on my witchy path at the minute. Too much has been going on. I better not read too much into that. Well, this is when I was going to interview Ryan Espich. I thought he would be interesting to talk to about the Ouija board. Ryan Espich, oh my god, this man has played a huge part in my story. I first wanted the Ouija to move, so started watching videos, and his popped up, and he's helped me so much and explained you have to make a connection to the spirits, and it's not that simple. So I started realizing through him that deities help or spirits. So that's why I set up my altar, and I then realized my deity or Santa Marta, who who I've been following and have made a connection. No, knew Ryan liked her, so I then looked on YouTube to find who's to honour her more, and oh my god, he pops up again and teases me through his other channel everything I've needed to know. This man is the true friend, and I've made a connection to him, and I feel it was the powers that be who has made me find him for my teachings. I know now my saint is for sure Santa Marta. I just have the proof I needed. Wow. And Ryan Esbich is a true occult specialist and genuinely cares for souls and helps me every time I need it. It's my dad's 73rd birthday, so I've asked Janet for some pictures and I'm going to get them copied. So it's just a wee bit of how I started. It's good to read it back. Wow. Monday the 9th of September. I've cleared and reorganised my Santa Marta altar. I'm going to use this as my working altar too, as I feel SM loves me enough to help with anything I within reason I want. I never ask for much. I've got a few spells I want to do for Liam and Zach. One on self-love and beauty spell, and I return for her doing this for me. I will buy her some gifts such as flowers, not sure what kind, but I'll know when I see it. I have to finish my alchemy book as I just know I'm going to understand more about how all this works once I read it. P.S. I'm going to do an altar in the living room too. And that was Monday the 9th of September 2018. It's one of you want to come up and join me, sisters. I'll put the link in the chat. I'll read your comments back as well. It's just interesting to read it back, and then obviously I finished this one, so I had to go into that one, and then I finished that one, and I'm now on this one. So this one's like my wee story journey, and do you want to know what I do? I write down things, and then I continue where I've left off. This has got a lot of the stuff in it that I've researched about the stuff for Scotland, though, such as it's got Yule facts in it, bells, candles, evergreens. It's got all that in it that I've never put in any of the other ones. It's where I've actually documented some of my tarot journey in it as well. I didn't know I'd done that. If you send it me an email, if I can, I'll pop it. No problem. I'm not going to be long, sisters. I was only going to come on for an hour anyway, so about 20 minutes or something. And I'll read back the chat, guys, once I send sister this link. That candle's taking its time. Usually the candles burn down pretty quick. So you can tell that it's really working. Right, invite guests, copy link. Email you, sis, no problem. No problemo. Pose. Oh, we have our beautiful sister Sherry. Here you go, Angel. She should be here, guys. Right, mystical. If anybody else wants to come up, let me know. In fact, I'll put it in the chat. I'll put it in the coven. Are you there, sis?
Hello?
Hello, sister. Can you hear me?
I can. Sorry, I didn't realise I wasn't on the thing. I was like, oh, there you go. It's because I had my camera off.
Hi. How are you?
Hello.
Yeah, I
no,
just thought I would come on and share it. It's good to go through that notebook again. I didn't remember half of that. I'll need to read it later.
It brings back memories, doesn't it? It
Just
kind
to
of
remember
makes you.
how we got started.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah. It's just the fact that I think way back then when I started writing everything down, I assumed that would be about the size of book of shadows I would need, and then I ended up making the binder. So the binder really got all the spell work in it and things and the teachings. That's just
I've
to
got
note
like
down my
I've got
journal.
spells and stuff. I've got spells and stuff in my
Yeah.
my shadow
Oh,
book,
their sister
but
mystical.
some of them are so long you do have to put them on. You have to put them on your big books because some of them are too long.
It's just good to go through it again and see what.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey.
That lot went removed her again.
Oh, where's she gone?
I think. Are you in, sis? Oh, I thought I removed her again. Looking at you. Sorry, sister. I'll get you.
Yeah.
I pressed it twice. Sorry.
That's okay. Sherry's asking if I'm here, and you can't see
I'll put
me.
my camera
I'm
off to have a
saying
quick
to
second. What are you
myself,
reading?
I'm here. I'm here.
Are you in, mystical?
Yeah, she's here. I can see her.
You're the one that.
It's saying add
No,
to
she's gone again.
stream.
Oh my god, I'm on my own.
Hi,
Don't
Lady
put me on my
Blind
own.
Wolf. wait, no. Add to stream. That should be at this time. There we go.
What are
That's us. I'm just having a quick
What are you
cigarette.
Put me
doing?
on the stream on my own. I was talking to her and you took the plan again. I was like, don't put me on my own.
Drew's asking if I'm here. Well, I'm here. She's the one that's not here. Let me close my door. Lee's taking a nap.
Yeah, I put my camera off to have a quick draw a cigarette. So, what did you think of that, ladies?
It's nice
It just shows you how I started.
It is nice to hear it.
What are we hearing? What did I miss?
Brings back memories.
I don't know how we could talk about memories when
I
Drew's
don't know
playing
why it's
musical
coming
chairs.
and going.
I don't know. You left Sherry by herself, and you had me in backstage, and you're saying, "Can you hear me? Can you hear me?" And are you here? And you're the one that wasn't here. And Sherry's like, "I'm by myself."
Actually, leave her. I was still here. I just turned my camera.
Oh, cause see, we couldn't see you. Hello, Lady Blind Wolf. Welcome in.
I'm having a cigarette. I'm trying to find if I can find where. I'm trying to remember when we met, Sister Sherry. It must have been about 2019. I received. Oh, that's right. See my Santa Marta statue upstairs. It's actually out a game. I couldn't something like £80 to get them shipped from America to here. I couldn't find a decent sized one that wasn't going to cost a fortune. So I ended up getting the Santa. It's not actually Santa Marta. It's well, it is Santa Marta, but it's out a film. I think it's called Death Recon, where an image showed up in the actual film. So they had made a character of her. So instead of paying all that money for a statue, I got the film's version of her. So that's what that statue is upstairs. And I just revamped her myself. I gave her some of my hair, put it under her cloak. I gave her feathers and things that I had found, cleaned them all. And so that's how I managed to do my Santa Marta statue. I just remembered that when I seen it in the book. I revamped it. And I had stood and asked her if it was okay. Scary. I was like, is it okay? Yeah. And I ended up, I got a small statue, but it came broke. The hand was broke.
That's good to hear, Drew, that you know all the stuff that you're sharing, how you got started and how you met Sherry, and because I always wondered that too, how you two ended up being such good friends.
Well, what happened was Chris and I started doing interviews, and you were doing interviews at the time, weren't you? And I do believe we had met Lunar first, and Lunar had managed to link up Chris and
Hey,
Sherry.
Archie.
And then through that, you interviewed us first, I think. And then we interviewed you. And then we met Uncle Danny. Hi,
because I'd
Archie.
known
So it was interesting. If you go back Bold and
I'd known Luna
Bonkers, it used to
for a while.
be
I'd known Luna for
Lost
ages,
Scotsman.
and that's how I met him.
Welcome, Paranormal Hub. And October. Oh,
Hi,
October
Hub.
Man. Hi, Lars.
Yeah.
Because that was, I think, like we
Yeah,
had
because we all started doing interviews.
we'd done interviews and stuff, and then I had Chris come up with one of his friends. I think it was, I can't remember what his name was, that he'd come up with one of his friends as well. At first it was Sister Drew and him, and then he come up with his friend James, I think it was. And that was when he had his first experience of seeing like a fairy on screen. Like his face said it all. It was just like proper shock.
Lewis or something he came up with.
He was like, what?
That's right, so he did.
Yeah, that was cool.
He's like,
it's just like pointing that.
Sherry, something's just came out the wall.
Oh.
Oh, it was hilarious. Yeah, so that's how we get started. What had happened was I had always watched the paranormal was on that, and I had said, oh, for Scotland, and he said he was for Scotland, and I'd said, oh, I'm in Lanark, and he says, oh, I'm in Douglas, and I assumed he meant Douglas, Perth, and I'd said, oh, do you want the? I've got my own paranormal
Hey, Danny.
team, but I've nobody to go out with, and he's like, I drive, I'll come and take you across at the shop, and then from then on we just went out every Friday. Hi, Uncle Danny. Do you want to come up?
Cool.
If you want to come up, I was just sharing how I got started, and I'm going to. Okay, well, I'm going to say a couple of plans at what I've got coming up. I've got you here. Hi, Brother Louis. I wanted to start all the witchy shows back up again. Am I coming in and out? Yeah.
You are.
Yeah, you're a little bit glitchy.
Sorry, guys. Wait a wee minute. It's the internet.
I didn't say anything at first because you froze with your mouth wide open. Too,
yeah.
But you're okay. You unfroze.
Better.
It's like still glitching.
It's every time you talk.
Is that better? I'll try not move in case
better.
It's just the computer. Uncle Dan, it was just in case you wanted. Then I'm away again.
Danny says he's eating.
Yeah, talk to you a bit about the witchy shows. Remember we had started witchy shows. We've always done it for different companies, a witchy show. But instead of doing it for companies and other people's groups, I thought, why don't we do it ourselves? Like 1 week it could be my channel teaching something to do with witchy stuff. Other week it could be Sherry's, then Mysticals, or even anybody wants to share something that they know, then definitely give us a shout and we can either support you on it, come up and talk with you about it. But because the witchy season is coming back in, it's a time to try and help people. Because right now people will be wanting to set up their autumn altars and things like that. So I'll put my mic down so you can see me. It's so because people will be wanting to set up for Halloween and things soon. So it's a perfect time to teach people. And also I was saying in the group, if you remember, that I wanted everybody to start collecting little sticks and things to start making like a pentagram. So we've got little tasks to do as a group. You know, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It will.
Paranormal Hub is asking Drew, what does your DAPV stand for?
DAPV.
Drew's abandoned paranormal vlog.
Yeah.
Vlog.
I didn't want to answer for you, so I was just waiting.
And I just said DAPV. I don't know why I said that.
So what do you think, sisters? Do you want to do that as a series and we can start from basics?
Yeah, that sounds good. And you know, I was thinking too, like when it comes to like round to me, what I could do was instead of just talking about it, I could actually show them basic workings to do on, live, and show them why I'm using this herb, or, what this herb is for. Just something, very basic. Because you want to get down to basics, so I could always do just a live, working. For some people that don't know
Definitely.
what workings are, I call them workings. Drew and Sherry call them spells. So sometimes in my title I'll put spell parentheses working, so people won't go, what is she even talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I mainly say
Was it
spells, but
also
sometimes I
let
just
some
say
of the other
spells
witchy sisters
working.
get involved?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think it's good because I think
I mean, there's October.
I think for a lot of people that are in our community that have come over recently, we're quite far into our witchcraft. So for a lot of them, they'll probably find a lot of what we're doing good to go back to the basics so they can learn in stages. Like the thing is when we were part of the companies and we were doing our witchy shows, we really didn't get to make the stand the way that we wanted to because it was always just a set way and it'd only be an hour. We never got to really truly show who we really were because we didn't have the time, and then we got interfered with and problems happened and everything just blew apart.
I know.
You know what I mean? So
yep.
It'd be nice to restart.
It felt as if we were just getting started and then it was stopping, I mean, if you think about it as well, a lot of the people, there's Sue's, for example. Sue's started following us and came into the coven way back last year because she wanted to learn. There's also Dobie as well. Dobie came in because she knows so much, but she wants to learn further. So there is already a few people in the group that want to learn a little bit more. And because we are confident in what we do, then obviously it's going to be us to teach them. The important thing is to get back to the basics. The first thing I would say to practice is to start knowing your colours, start knowing what makes you feel powerful, your smells, your colours. Remember, witchcraft is all to do with visualisation and what you feel about a certain thing. So start looking at your colours and seeing how they make you feel. Start taking, like Sherry does, a good meditations. So in those meditations, start asking the questions, are my guides around? Who are my guides that want to help me with this project? And that can be a start for you. I don't know if you feel as if there's something else they should know to start with.
Yeah,
I think, like personally, I think. Sorry, sis, Mystical, go on.
No, I was gonna say I was gonna let you go first. So, but you did, so that's good.
Oh, okay. So what I was going to say
is Mystical, say what you want to say. Okay.
Do you talk first, Mystical, and then I can, unless you want me to talk first.
No, I was going to say go ahead and go first.
Right, okay. Like obviously I do my meditation and stuff like that, guys, but it's really important to know that to be able to meditate properly, you have really got to focus on doing the meditation. And one of like my main things I'd say to you first is actually learning to open and unblock your chakras and things like that, okay? Because You've got to be unblocked. You've got to be leveled to be able to make the communication. I have literally just today done my first meditation on how to open, and it's to help you open and cleanse and unblock your chakras, your body energies, and your auras. Okay, they are very, very important in witchcraft, and they they resemble a lot of energy that we take on. So it's very important first to do that. So if you're going to be doing the meditation, maybe start with like unblocking yourself so that your senses are a little bit more higher, because then when you're doing my meditation, you'll be able to connect better. You'll be able to talk to your higher powers, your higher divine energies, because if you're blocked and you haven't got yourself open, you're not going to have a full communication with the energies you're wanting to talk to. You need to be clear, you need to be cleansed. So my meditation stream for the chakras and the auras is going to be up tomorrow. Watch that one first just to get yourself leveled, then go on to my other meditations. I will be also this week bringing in a meditation one for spiritual awakening you to spirituality. Okay, but the thing with meditation is you've got to be able to put your mind in that place of relaxation. And you've got to realize that you're doing that and take on the energies, feel the energies, smell the smells, feel your emotions. All of this is really important in witchcraft and in spirituality. Okay, so that's what I was going to say, and then go from there.
Good.
The thing is, as well, remember, you have to deal with a lot of things. There's a lot of things will come up that you'll have to face head on, because sometimes you're stuck because something's happened in your past and you don't realise that it's sticking you. Such as me with my confidence, guys. Didn't have any confidence. I probably would never have done this if it wasn't for everybody around me pushing me, telling me I could do it, because I didn't ever think I would ever have the confidence to do anything. So it's really important to deal with a lot of things that stick you in life, such if you think, oh, I can't do that, I would never be able to go on a live stream. Work on that. Definitely start thinking, where does that come from that I have no confidence? And start going back to why it is that you feel that way. And then you'll probably find it's been something in your past. And that's what we call shadow work. And that's you facing what happened. And as I said, it was my big brother that gave me no confidence, the things he used to do to me. But deal with that. Blame. I had to blame him.
Maybe that's what we could do first, sis.
I had no confidence, you know?
Yeah, but maybe we could do that first before you think about going into your meditation and stuff like that. You do need to have an understanding for the roots of you and what may be stopping you from doing certain things, like you're saying, sis. So maybe helping them to understand what shadow work is, and helping them to do just the basics of the shadow work and finding out what's wrong with them. Then move on to the meditation, because the meditation is another level, guys. You need to be spiritually connected first to be able to do that. So maybe
things will come up in the meditation. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And just use the meditation to help guide you through it. Meditation might calm you when you're feeling, you might do the shadow work and feel a bit stressed, a bit upset. Go and listen to one of my videos. It will calm you. I'm going to be like in some of I am going to be bringing into my meditation my drumming music and using my vocal sounds as well, because I'm very good at connecting to people with my music and with my voice sounding and meditation.
Yeah, so just doing that sort of thing as well. If you can't meditate, your mind's confused.
See, and
what were you trying to say, Miss?
Exactly,
yes. I was gonna say, like, for me, it's like when you first start and you want to get into the path, or you're there, you just don't know where to go. Maybe you're stuck. For me, it's like it's like homework. Okay, it's like start your homework. This is what I tell people. Everything you run across, if you're walking outside, think outside the box. If you see a wasp, a bee, think, how could that be used in a practice? Okay, for one, say for example, a bee, they help pollinate. You can use it in your workings, because it pollinates, it creates, with that pollination, it creates life. You have growth of food, for example. It has a stinger. It can sting, but not so much to use the sting. Yes, you could use it in a working for to sting someone if they're, you need a correction there or something. But you can, it's also protection. With that bee, it's protection. They use their stinger to protect themselves. So you can use it in a protection working for yourself. Now, don't ever go out and kill anything, because I wanted to show you. As you're walking around, you're going to find dead things that are all dried up. Never, ever, ever catch anything, harm anything. If you run across something that is dead, that is dried up, save it. Save it. But when you pick it up, do a blessing over it. You're sorry that it's past, but yet you can always use it, for the good. If you're walking outside and you see the tree, think of outside the outside the box, what you can do with the tree. You can use its bark, you can use its leaves, you can use the dirt that's underneath it. So everything you see when you're outside, you can incorporate it into a working. If you run across a snake, snakes doesn't necessarily mean they're bad. Snakes will protect themselves. If you see a snake where it's shedded, I've got snake skin up there. The shedding, you can do a working for someone that maybe they're in a bad situation and they need to get out and they need a new life. When snakes shed their skin, they're shedding the old, they're going into the new. And so you can incorporate that also for transformation, for someone. So every single thing you see, think of all the different ways that it can be used. It's like homework. That's what I would tell people. That way, when you see something, you can think, I wonder how I can use that. And that's how you can figure out when you start getting stuff like this behind me. There's so many uses. You can get one thing, and people say, well, I thought it was just for this. I thought it was just that. If you're thinking it in your head, how different ways you can use it, then that's how you can use it. Everything, So it's kind of like homework everywhere they go, you know. I mean, you can have a bottle of water. What can a bottle of water be used for? It can be used to save someone. The water can be used to intensify, workings. It gives life. So everything, just think about how you can use it.
Exactly.
It's amazing what you can come up with.
And if you don't know everything, you have got places that you can go and look on to get more information so you can understand. You've got books, you've got libraries, you've got like places on the internet that you can go and look at. You can go into different witchy places, spiritual places, and they'll have alternatives, because there are so many, like Mystical said, there are so many levels that you can use certain objects that you get for. It's not just a couple of things. There's hundreds of different things you could use it for if you learn how to do it.
Yeah.
So
and like
research.
And like Drew does, get you a journal and write it down so you don't forget.
Yes.
I've got
always
I
write your stuff down
books up there. Yeah, one says trees and shrubs, general information, insects, seeds, fruits, roots, flowers, all different things. So that way, if I think of something just out of the norm, I'll jot it down inside. Drew left us again.
Drew. Yeah, and you do. Like, you could never
I'm having a psyche, guys. I'm still here.
Oh, okay.
You can never have enough books, and it is really important if you're going to do this sort of thing and you want to come along with us and learn about things. It's always important to have like your pads and stuff to write everything down, because you're not going to remember everything that we show and tell you. So having a book and writing it all down is perfect, because not even us ourselves remember everything we've got to do all the time. That's why we have our books and our shadow books, and because if you've got a busy day and you've got several spells, sometimes your mind can go a bit blank. You know what I mean? You're like, oh my God, what am I supposed to be doing with it? Like, okay, yeah, go back to your books, that's what they're there for.
Ghostly is in and says,
it is
hey
good
guys,
to look
this is
back.
very interesting. What's
it's
it about?
To look back and how far you've came. Yeah.
We're just talking
It
about the
does.
In
beginning
October,
of
you
your
can
witchy
help
path.
us with this as well, because October's got a great different, well, not a different perspective on it, but she does things yet again, so it'll help October maybe get back to her channel. Because we don't need to do it, guys. It's like, oh, it's got to be my channel or something. Anybody that wants to talk about witchcraft, it can be your channel. Like, so say next week, Mystical decides she wants to talk about altars or just for talk's sake, then we'll all jump on and talk about altars. But the important part is everybody doing it once a week or something so that we are teaching people, you know. And what do you
And it
want
is
to
good to
see?
do
What
it
do you
that
want
way.
us to talk about as well? Welcome in, Ghostly. Yeah.
It is good to
I
do it
just
that way
feel that a
because
bit
we're
of
all
structure from
different as
starting
well.
from the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, because we're all different as well. We
But I
all
start
work
from the
differently. We're not
beginning and teach
all the
the way
same,
that the books, because I,
you know.
yeah, because as you've seen, I mean, Sister Sherry and Mystical have always been like really witchy and really new things. I've kind of taught myself along with YouTube teaching me. But then again, your paths will all be different. So the only way we really can do it is the way that the books tell you to do it, which is a bit of structure, a bit of getting your mind clear, lowering your vibration enough to meditate in a place where you can get the answers. Remember, you maybe think that you want to take this path and still you start actually doing the work. You've got to be
Mm-hmm.
dedicated to light your altars every day. Remember and say thanks for things that come into your life and things, because they'll hit you down if you don't.
And
You know.
remember, when you get into the path, you're always going to have family, you're going to have friends that you're going to lose because, like Ghostly says, witchcraft is very misunderstood, I feel. Because they're going to think that you're out doing a ritual and you're going to murder somebody and you're going to slice them open and you're going to think the worst, do the
Mhm.
worst of people. But always remember, just stay true to yourself and just overlook what other people are thinking. You know what you're doing, you're doing good, you're healing, you're helping, you're crossing over spirits, so all of this you're doing what you feel that you need to do in your heart. So
Oh yeah, and there is a lot of
Yeah.
negativity towards witchcraft and stuff out there. You just have to learn to let it go over your head, guys, because people are just so uneducated about what
I
we really
don't
do.
even bother
And I
about it
think if they
anymore.
actually came in and sat with us and took the time to listen to us, they'd see we're
Yeah.
not bad people and we're just trying to help. That is what we're doing, you know.
mhm.
So
Yep.
But
we
that's
don't
because
do
she's back doing what she loves and who she truly is. And
who me.
to be
What?
honest with you, we're not letting anybody else tell us what to do anymore either. We're being ourselves, guys. We're not anybody there to give us a row anymore. Get us in trouble.
Yeah, well, like, I'm not being funny, but me and Drew have been at the hard end quite a few times with our witchcraft. We've never really been able to truly be who we really are because we've always had to set an example because of the shows and stuff, and it wasn't us.
Yeah.
It wasn't who we are. That's not us. I will never be part of a company again. I will never ever be part of a company again. I will never
God,
ever do
yeah.
that.
Yeah. No,
No.
See, and I've
Yeah.
always been I've always been lucky. I've always been
no, not
blessed.
doing it.
My
No.
late my late husband, I was married to for
Um,
34 years.
we're still
He
learning
always
too.
knew
I
what
don't
I
think
was
that
capable of.
everybody
He always said,
learns.
"You do what you want to do. I know whatever you put your mind to, you're going to do it." And then he passed away, and then I met Lee through his sister because his sister was my friend. And then Lee is the exact same way. So I've been lucky. Lee is like there 100%. Now he don't understand any of it how it works. None of it. But he knows that it works because he'll see me doing something. He's like, "But how do you know it's going to work?" And I said, "Because I did it." He goes, "But how do you know?" I said, "Because I did it. Because I did it, I know what I'm capable of." So he'll back me up 100%. Whatever I need, whatever, he's right there for me. He just doesn't understand. It doesn't click, but he's there.
Yeah, no, but that's the same with Rudy, like my Rudy as well. Like when we first got together, like Rudy lives in Texas, so Rudy's come across quite a lot of really bad like witches, and that have done really bad things, and he's had things done to him. So he was always really skeptical about witches, like quite not really happy about witches and stuff. So that's why I was shocked when he liked my channel, when he liked me. And over time, obviously, where he's got to know me and he knows that there is a good side to witches, he's started to open to that. Like, I hadn't asked him to do anything in our house that he's doing up and that, but the other day he sent me signs. He'd got these little witch potion bottles on a picture, and it had "Welcome to my home." And I was like, "Oh my god, you got witch bottles?" He goes, "Yeah, I've got like little bits I'm putting in that represent you." I'm like, "Oh, you're opening to me now." He goes, "No, but I can see that you're a good person and you do good things, so I don't fear what you do."
Oh,
You know what I mean? So. And it is good when they support you like that. And I've helped him so many times.
He's trying to make you welcome.
Yeah, and he goes, "Look what I got for our house," and then he made this little coffin. He's got this little coffin picture he's made, and it's got about being haunted. Our little house is haunted and stuff like that. And I was like, "Oh my god, he's actually really doing things that I love," and he's like illustrating that, and it's so cute.
That's like all of the stuff that I forge,
so
all the oils I make, all the powders I make. But anything in here that is decor, like that big old humongous eagle head that's this big on the wall, he's bought it for me. He's bought that picture up there. I mean, all of my dragons, all of the gargoyles, all of this stuff, the skulls, he's bought for me. He doesn't know how. He knows I use the stuff for the good.
We seen him that days we're out in the market.
Yeah, it's cute when they do that though, when they support you like that. It is cute. Like he's into skulls and dragons and stuff.
Mystical's like, "No, it's okay, I don't want it." And he's like, "No, you're having it."
Yeah. Yeah, he's always doing that. So Ghostly is asking, how long have you ladies been practicing witchcraft for?
Sparkle, be quiet. I'll let you have a minute. We're just gonna.
Sherry was kind of like born into doing and stuff. Drew, you want to answer that one for yourself? How long have you ladies been practicing witchcraft for? See, I don't even call it witchcraft. I say I'm a spiritual being, and I do
I've
working.
Always been spiritual. I would say I've always had the spiritual part in me. Yeah,
I believe that 100%. I do believe that view.
What you want to say at the time. Sometimes I do say workings because I don't want to say spell work. Yeah, to certain people.
Yeah, well, see, you have to be careful with how you refer it to.
Sorry guys, my feed is very laggy. I'm having difficulty hearing ladies.
See, Lee tells people that I'm a herbalist.
Well, it's true what Brother Lou's saying, there's bad people and everything.
Yeah.
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 So
I would say that you're a herbalist. I would, but I say that you're a witch as well. You are a witch, even though you're a spiritualist. You're a witch because of what you do and the way you work. But she won't say she's a witch. She says, "I'm a spiritualist." I'm like, "Okay, you're a spiritualist." But I say that I'm a spiritualist. I say that I'm a spiritualist, but I will say that I'm a witch as well.
I say I'm a spiritual being, and Sherry says, "I don't care what you call yourself. You're a witch, and you know you're a witch."
Lie down.
I'm a spiritual being, and sometimes I say a holy spiritual being. It just depends on, because everything that I do is geared for the good, So I mean, it's I guess that's
just go lie down over there.
Like stuck in my brain. That's how I see myself. But
you've just got places, and you've got certain people that you reside to differently. Like the people around here where I live, they're really funny about witches and stuff. So if they were to come up and ask, like certain people here know that I'm a witch, but to a lot of them, I will say I'm a spiritualist because I don't want no crap from them. But on here and in other places, I don't mind saying that I'm a witch. I don't care. But because I have to live here, it's like, I'm a spiritualist. I do practice witch stuff, but I'm a spiritualist, like just to keep the peace. But I've been gifted since young. And I started my witchcraft and started becoming very interested in researching it when I was around 15. I was around 15 when I started to find it interesting. I came into, I think my first connections would have been with nature and things like that. That's when my first part of my spirituality as a witch started, was me connecting with nature. And it wasn't so much doing spell work or anything, it was connecting with nature and doing all of that. And that was around 15 years old. So I've been doing it a long time. Yeah. But my actual spell work itself has been in the last 15 years, maybe 20 years. Like I didn't do my spell work straight away. I wanted to find everything else about me first.
Yeah.
See, and I started when I was like at 10 years old. Yeah. Is when my spirit started talking to me. And I've always called my spirits spirits. That's how they know they are. I know each one of them's energy. So when I call on spirit, and depending on what I'm wanting, they know exactly who I'm gearing to. Because they all have different, they play different parts in my life, that they're there. And this started like at 10 years old. So even by the time I was 12 or 13, I was already doing stuff to help people, you know. And so mine started off very, very young. So if I'm going to do a certain working and I call on spirit, they know what I'm doing. They know which one steps in. You know.
Oh yeah, like for my spell work in itself, like doing all of the herbals and stuff, that was when I was a little bit older. My spirituality itself, like communicating with spirit, being connected to spirit, that was from the age of 5 years old. I knew how to protect, I knew how to cleanse at a very young age, but I didn't feel confident enough to do the spell work at that age. I wanted to be a bit older, so that's where I learned about what I was, become connected to nature, become connected to all of my spirituality. And then that's what opened me to go, come on, we can go further. And my nan and my auntie learnt me to get that confidence and to do that. You know what I mean? So
yeah. And see, I started helping people and healing people at such a young age.
I advise you all just to watch YouTube.
You froze, yeah. So it's different for everybody on how they start and stuff like that. But
I would just advise you all. To do what I do if you are lost, and that's watch people on YouTube, such as us. Obviously, that's what you do. But find people that resonate to what you want to learn, and light-hearted. I picked Lady Grave Dancer because she was funny.
I didn't want to wake
she told you that, much like Mystical. Mystical does it the way that Lady Grave Dancer does it. She shows you to the point, everything you need.
Oh. And she's
the way to do it, and then the rest is kind of up to you. You're wondering if there should be enough of a witch or enough of a spiritual being to know the words to kind of use. And we will teach you all that, guys, the words you don't use. It's just that find something that resonates with you is my point.
Yeah. So the Craft movie, Ghost Leon, you're referring to the Craft movie. I don't watch.
I'm going to go, guys, because I can't hear a word that the ladies are saying, and I feel rude. It just keeps.
Okay. Well, thank you for having us up, Drew.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
I do believe Sister Christina's live as well.
Yeah, I did see that pop up.
I can't hear it. Wait, everything's pure echo, guys. I can hear it a little bit.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Love you all.
Okay. Right, I'm going to let everybody go, guys, because it is a bad streaming mind. I don't know what it's like for you. They going live on a Wednesday anymore. So we'll do the Witchy Wednesdays back again. So next week it might be Shell and
I don't know what that pop was on Sherry. Okay, yeah.
I had Sherry and that was it.
It's where it will be what we're teaching. So bye for now, everybody, and I'm sorry that the stream